Good morning. It is 7:06 a.m. on Monday, January 21st, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I feel like I've got a lot on my mind this morning. On the weekends, especially because I do my Gravity Falls rewatches on Sundays, I feel like I end up with a lot to talk about on Monday mornings because I haven't updated any, I have a specific topic for Sunday morning. So Monday morning has to carry the weight of everything I did after my first thing in the morning Saturday and then all day Sunday. Plus, it has that extra thing of like, well, and what am I doing this week? In any event, I thought I was going to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. Turns out that's not out yet, and what I actually saw was the first movie again on the big screen, although that was still interesting. It was part of a 4DX experience, which what that means is that the seats move almost like a theme park ride, and they have big fans in the room and various other things that so for example, in How to Train Your Dragon, there are several scenes where you're flying around on a dragon, right? So the seats are moving and it's blowing air on you like the wind, and it has like moisture added, so it's literally supposed to feel like sea air, and they can change the temperature of it. And I want to just indicate too, this is not just like a regular fan like you have in your house. It's actually got a fairly precision, so it can do like gusts and bursts and everything without just having to go vroom. I don't know. Anyway, and it's not as loud as you might think. Like when the audio of the movie's going, you don't really hear it. I was impressed. I was I think actually the moving seats was maybe more distracting, but all of the other the air bits too were pretty cool. So that was fun. On Sunday, I had session 2 of This Space for Rent, and I sort of proactively decided to let the players be a little bit more self-directed, and it was very, very nice. I definitely enjoyed that session. So you can check that out. That's already on YouTube. I recommend it. There's calming down elderly veterans with a rap battle. Oh gosh, that just calming down elderly veterans just suddenly makes me think of that awful thing at the Lincoln Memorial with those kids in the MAGA hats and ugh. That was actually kind of on my mind anyway, because of course it's just like the video that's going around is just gross. Now, I mean, you're starting to see some pushback. Like there's a longer video that shows that the situation is a little bit more complex than it initially seemed. Like just in the sense that the kids were actually kind of already in that spot when the Native American group came in to them. It wasn't the other way around. But just the same, like you watch the video and it's like, no. That's still pretty awful. And so I think the longer video showing context is interesting, but doesn't fundamentally change my opinion of these kids who are pretty gross. Anyway, that's not really what I was planning to talk about. But then I also last night, or yesterday, went and saw Glass, which was not great in my opinion. Other people might like it more, but I didn't have a great time with it. Trying to think if I feel like I want to say more about it, because there's definitely things that could be spoiled. But without spoiling them, I will say that I was spoiled before going in and was kind of glad that I was, because I think that if I had been surprised by those story beats, I would have been more frustrated with them than I was kind of knowing what I knew. But overall, I think the movie's biggest problem is that it's very slow. And I can enjoy slow movies, but not always. And this was not one that I especially enjoyed. But oh well. And then last night before bed, I finally finished the story mode roll credits of Red Dead Redemption 2, and boy, that's a hell of a story. And there's not really a lot of other mediums like it. Just, I've talked a little bit about this with the amount of time you spend with the characters is interesting, and especially in a medium where you're so thoroughly invited to identify with the characters as opposed to just watching a story with the characters. Like, you are participating, right? You are with them. It's not just watching them. And overall, it's one of those things that's hard to recommend because it's so long. And it starts pretty slow, frankly. I don't think that the beginning is the strongest part of that game by a wide stretch. But boy, by the end, I was just really moved. And there's a moment in the credits, which I won't spoil, where I thought that I was, on an even keel, just in terms of my emotional response to everything. But there was a moment, just a few seconds in the credits, that just took me completely by surprise, and I cried. And yeah, it was yeah. I'm that game's really something. Last but not least, no, I think that's it. So anyway, I've got to get ready for work, so I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.